What are you saying, people? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the title, we're going to be doing a quick review of James Bond, No Time to Die. So I literally just walked into the house from the cinema now, set this all up. Note that any spoilers that happen will have a massive spoiler thing right here. So don't worry, I'm not going to be spoiling anything. It's going to be very generic. Okay, big spoiler banner. So No Time to Die is the fifth and final installment of Daniel Craig's James Bond character. And he's been playing Bond since all the way back when in 2006. And in my opinion, he's turned the James Bond character, who was originally this, really posh guy in a suit who never got harmed, never got hurt, was always clean. And he just transformed him into this guy who's basically dirty, grimy, bloody, battered and bruised. A guy who could take a beating, but also dish it out just as well. Daniel Craig himself is now 53 years old. And I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, that guy needs to give me his gym routine because I want to have a body like him at age 53. I mean, just look at this fine specimen of a man, bro. Like, white cracked on his face, but white did not crack on the rest of his body. I ain't gonna lie to you. Anyways, all that aside now, let's actually review the film. No Time to Die, for me, was just like one long victory lap. It was like we've made it this far, all the way from 2006 to 2021. And here we are. This is it. We're done. We're finished. And we're going to go out with a bang. The whole time I was sitting there, I was watching it intently. The acting, the music, literally everything from the first scene until the very end had me hooked and grabbed, and I couldn't stop watching. It was amazing. So thrilling and just compelling. You wanted to watch it. It wasn't like, oh, I have to watch it because I'm here and I'm paid money to see it. I wanted to watch it. I was hungry for the next scene. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Bang, 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 bang. There were some predictable elements and there were some predictable scenes, but the entire story as a whole, in my opinion, was actually quite fresh, quite new. And for James Bond, an MI6 agent, he all of a sudden became relatable. And one thing that I do have to say is that No Time to Die really handles itself and holds its own as a standalone film. So if you've never watched a previous Bond movie before and you feel like you can't jump into the end without seeing the beginning, honestly, doesn't even matter. You don't need to have seen 1 to 4 before you can see 5. You can literally go and see 5, and if you like it, go back and watch them all in order. If you don't worry about it. Honestly, it's fine. It is a little bit weird because No Time to Die is, in essence, Spectre Part 2, but the way that they introduce the Spectre characters and the Spectre storylines, you wouldn't even realize that if you hadn't watched it. The only reason why I know it is because I'm a massive James Bond fan and I've watched them all, and I could see, oh, this was here, this was there. It really does not matter though. The acting in it is immaculate. They have big stars. Kind of a little bit of a spoiler here, but a little spoiler, I guess, tiny little one. There is a very short cameo from Ana de Armas, which I do wish was a lot longer. I wish we got to see more of her, as in more of her in the show, not more of her. But yeah, in general, it's a super good movie. Really fun to watch. Really enjoying, from the relatable storyline, relatable in that sense, storyline, to the villains, the acting. RAMI MALEK in it. Oh my God. Bro, that guy, he may just be the best actor in Hollywood. And yeah, I mean, like, I don't really have anything negative to say. The only one thing maybe you could say is it's a bit boring in the first half or the first third, like the first little section, but that's because it's explaining to those who haven't seen a Bond film before what's going on, while maintaining a little bit of action, a little bit of blah, blah, pow, pow, with, setting up the rest of the story too. So I guess, you could say it's a little bit boring, but in my opinion, that's an unfair criticism. It's justified because every single film starts off boring in that sense, especially when it's an original standalone. But even with the way Spectre finished to how this starts, they bridge the gap perfectly if you want to look at it in that sense. And if you want to look at it as a standalone film, it's doing what the beginning of films do. It just is. I'm sorry if you find it boring. You're wrong. You're wrong. But yeah, we're about to get a big spoiler here now, so skip to whichever mark I'm going to put somewhere here. Yeah, so the storyline as well is extremely strong, bringing back Heracles, which was supposedly destroyed back in Spectre. And there's a bunch of twists and turns and corners that you haven't seen coming, people switching sides that you wouldn't expect, and all of that blah blah blah. You do see the fantastic performance by Rami Malek, sort of across the whole film, but more in the second half, where he's actually unveiled as the evil, the big bad. And yeah, he is just this sick, twisted, sadistic villain who you know when you just have that, like, you just want to watch it. His eyes, his face, the way he pauses and speaks every single word. Like, you feel it all in your soul. Just an amazing performance, an amazingly well thought out and written villain. He does have the typical Bond villain, massive facility on an island kind of thing going on. And of course, at the end of the film, Bond does die. Many of us speculated he would. However, there was a possibility that he would just live out the rest of his days, retired, maybe the family of some kind, and just chill. The death in itself is so emotional. It was more emotional because you realize it's the end of an era. It's the end of Daniel Craig on our screens as Bond. Spoilers over. Let's give the film a final rating. I'm not gonna lie to you, this film is almost like as close to perfection as you can possibly get in my eyes. And I'm gonna have to just give it a 9.5 out of 10. The only reason why that 0.5 is missing is because, number one, I don't believe anything ever can be perfect. And number two, there are a few criticisms which I did mention in the spoilers bit. And I guess, yeah, this is the end of Daniel Craig as James Bond on our screens forever. We'll see who's next in line. I think it's going to be one of these three: Tom Hiddleston, Regé-Jean Page, or Tom Hardy. And I think that they're actually going to go with Regé-Jean Page because, I mean, come on, mate. He's literally had women creaming for the whole summer now watching Bridgerton. And Bond is meant to be this savvy, suave guy. But yeah, that's about it from me. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.